Hey family, welcome to Family People. I'm Raymond, and this is everything Marvel United Multiverse, the absolute all-in pledge with all the extras. Let's get unboxing. Hey family, okay, so this is War of Kings, and if anyone missed it, they did have so Disney Marvel, before purchasing 20th Century Fox, did have a series called Inhumans. I believe that is still available on Disney Plus. There's lots of plugs going on here. Not sponsored. Please sponsor me. That'd be cool. So Inhumans, I actually enjoyed Inhumans. It was a shame. I thought it was a shame they didn't do much more with it. And they also, I felt, tied in the Inhuman storyline really well with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. storyline as well. So the whole kind of Kree crossover was happening there. Transformation, the gaining of abilities, all that kind of stuff. It worked really, really well. But anyway, so War of Kings, genetically mutated by the Terrigen Mist, the Inhumans are gifted with extraordinary abilities as Black Bolt sought to unite his people and the Kree to bring peace and stability to their races. Emperor Vulcan of the Shi'ar Empire launched a treacherous assault, igniting an all-out war. Can the Inhumans put an end to the War of Kings before it ravages the galaxy? So that is the premise and the storyline in this expansion to Marvel United. Let's have a look at the cover work. Fantastic work. Love this work. And of course, some of these characters we have now seen on the big screen as well, or at least one we have seen. Of course, Black Bolt did feature in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, so he was one of the council in that scene, along with obviously Agent Carter, who we referenced earlier. So I'm not aware, I don't think, that we've seen any of the others yet. Will we see them to come? Yet to discover. Okay, so and again, in typical fashion, we have all the glorious artwork around the edges. You can stack them any which way you please on your shelves. So let's go ahead and crack open. What have we got? Dig into here. For those who have seen Inhumans, let me know what your thoughts were. Did you enjoy it? Would you like there to have been more work around Inhumans? Were you happy to see it die its death? Now, of course, they've got the X-Men license, and that will very much be the way forward. So during the time of not owning 20th Century Fox and the X-Men license, it meant that they couldn't use or refer to mutants, and that was the big issue here, and that's why they, of course, moved across to the Inhumans, which was another IP they already had under Marvel. So let's dig in. So we've got a very thin piece of extra contents information. So let's just dig into what do we get in the box. Here we go. That's bugging me. There we go. Okay, so as was seen on the front cover, of course, we get Black Bolt. We have his counterpart, if you will, Medusa. We have Lockjaw, their dog, which I absolutely love the portrayal of Lockjaw in the TV show. Recommend, if you watch it for nothing else, watch it for Lockjaw. Fantastic. Crystal, Karnak, Gorgon, Triton. Then we have our purple Gladiator, and finally Vulcan as the big baddie. Okay, so we're going to get another tracker in this one. We'll get lots of KOs, seismic barrier tokens, water tokens, Terrigen Mist tokens, and 4 new locations. And this does introduce a team versus team mode. Interesting. Okay. So let's have a look. So you get a duel with Gladiator, and then the team versus team mode. Okay, so that's what we get in that little leaflet there. We get a whole bunch of tokens. Come up a bit more. Boop. There we go. All right. Okay, so we get a bunch of KO tokens. And then we get our Terrigen Mist and our water referenced. Yeah. Okay, we have some new locations. Let's have a look, see if we can. You never want to just slide off these. They've done a good job packaging this stuff, I have to say. It doesn't just slide around the place, which is fine. Okay, so let's have a look. We have Atalan. There we go. Okay, so at the end of your turn, you may draw up to 2 cards and then discard the same number of cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck. It's a nice siphoner if you get to clear that space off. We get the blue area of the moons. This, of course, is where the Inhumans are hiding in the moon. Let's see if I can get that better. Lots of text on this one. So at the end of your turn, if a villain is in this location, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck to delay the next villain turn by 1 card and move the villain to the opposite location. Okay. What brings, we have the Watcher Citadel. I believe there's another area of the moon for the Inhumans. So at the end of your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of the Master Plan deck and put them back in the same order. Okay, so you get a sneaky peek of a warning of what's coming, but you can't change it in any way. And then finally, Tarnak 4. So at the end of your turn, you must randomly flip all civilian and thug tokens in this location. Then if there are more thugs, take 1 damage. If there are more civilians, draw a card. Interesting. Very different. So another gambling aspect to that location. Tarnak 4. Okay, so we have our villain dashboards. Of course, for our 2 villains, Gladiator being our purple that we can play as villain or a superhero that we can play as. And let's just go ahead first of all and crack open the cards. Ooh, that's a bit tasty. No, it is just a cube. I did wonder for a moment. It was kind of in that kind of an angle. I thought, oh, that's going to be more of a crystalline gem kind of structure, but it wasn't. But that's fine. That's fine. It would sit nicely, obviously, on the tracker, which is the main thing. So let's go ahead and say, well, let's. It looks like these are the baddie deck, so we'll go ahead and crack this open first. Okay, so let's have a look. Yep, baddie and baddie. Let's do the baddies, then we'll move on to purple and then our heroes of the hour. So Vulcan, first of all. So there are no special setup rules for Vulcan. That's fine. So let's have a look. Special rules. Psionic resistance. Let's have a quick look. So in 2-player game, he has 5 life, 3 players, 7 life, 4 players, 8 life. And his special rules are... so special rules, psionic resistance. Heroes cannot affect Vulcan's master plan cards in the storyline in any way. So any heroes that say you can manipulate and change and impact and affect what's in the storyline, gone. Can't use those abilities. Okay, when a hero is knocked out, Vulcan doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, that hero takes 1 KO token. And we've seen we get 6 KO tokens in this box. So when he bams, deal 1 damage to each hero in Vulcan and both adjacent locations. Then look at all the latest hero cards in the storyline up to the previous master plan. For each card with a special effect, the corresponding hero must discard 1 card. Okay. And as we've started to see, I think we're getting a lot more special effects in these hero decks than we have previously seen in Marvel United to date. So in the event of overflow, if 1 or more tokens can't be placed on a location, bring back 1 random cleared threat into the play in the next clockwise location with no threats. If not possible, 1 hero in any location takes 1 damage instead. And then finally, villainous plot. The heroes lose if they have a total of 4 for 2 players, 5 for 3 players, 6 for 4 players, KO tokens. So it's the KO tokens that are Vulcan is trying to dish out in order to defeat the heroes. So let's have a look at his cards and threats. We'll do his threats first. I find often that the threats will reference, or the cards will reference threats. So let's have a look at the threats first of all. So we've started off with a henchman, Deathbird, and we saw Deathbird, of course, in the X-Men Marvel United Season 2. So when Vulcan bams, deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this and both adjacent locations. Wow, there's a lot of damage flying around. The hero that clears this threat may discard 1 of their KO tokens. Oh, nice. 3 health to clear that particular threat. We have energy absorption. As long as 1 or more energy absorption is in play, any hero doing 1 or more damage to Vulcan during their turn must discard 1 card at the end of their turn. Wow, okay. So we have 2 of those, and then we have 3 power suppression. So power suppression is heroes starting their turn in this location treat special effects on all their cards as blank this turn. Wow, really doesn't like those special effect cards. Okay, so let's look at his deck then. So we have so we have got our kind of standard move and bam and put out tokens, and then I'll come back to the specials. So we've got a whole bunch of those. Not even on screen, apologies folks. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of I'll go through it again. There we go. So move and bam and put out tokens. There we go, apologies. And then we have let's have a look. Okay, so we have never ending love. So he moves 3, and then if Deathbird has already been defeated, bring her back and to play in Vulcan's location if possible, or in the next clockwise location with no threats. Okay, we have energy manipulation. From now on, at the end of each hero turn in which a hero played a card with a special effect, Vulcan recovers health at 1 health, but can't go above his starting health. Okay, so you would hope to get that one out early in the game against that one. We have no move bam, and then Emperor of Shi'ar. We have 2 of these. Until the next villain turn, Vulcan can't be damaged if there are any thugs in his location. So 2 of those. Okay, so that is what we'll be up against with Vulcan. And let's have a look at Gladiator. So Gladiator does have special setup. So let's have a look at what that is. So special setup, shuffle Gladiator's hero deck and keep it face down nearby. Okay. Place the Gladiator tracker and the heroes tracker, use the villain tracker, on the 0 space of their corresponding tracks. Interesting. So let's have a look. So he doesn't have any health. So there's no health here to get rid of. Okay. Special rules. Heroes cannot damage Gladiator. Once they have completed 2 missions, heroes in his location may duel with Gladiator once per turn after their draw a card step. Duel. See rules leaflet for duel rules. When a hero is knocked out, Gladiator doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, increase the Gladiator duel track by 1. So villainous plot, the heroes lose if the Gladiator tracker reaches the space marked with the relevant number for the number of heroes. Yep, so 2, 3, and 4 heroes. This is the heroes dual track, and then likewise 2, 3, 4 heroes for gladiators track. Okay, when he bams, deal 1 hero in gladiator's location or an adjacent use, or an adjacent one. Heroes choose. Okay, and then in the event of overflow, if 1 or more tokens can't be placed in a location, bring back 1 random cleared threat into play in the next clockwise location without a threat. If not possible, 1 hero in any location takes 1 damage instead. And the heroic goal: heroes win if the heroes tracker reaches the space marked the number of heroes. Okay, so we've got our own tracker to compete against the villainous tracker. So that's how he operates. Let's have a look at his threat cards then. So great confidence. Just make sure it's on there. Yep. So we've got 2 of those. So if involved in a duel while in this location, Gladiator reveals 1 extra card from the top of his hero deck. Okay. We have Imperial Guard. Each thug in this location requires 2 damage to be defeated. We've seen this before. So, we have 2 heroic feats and a punch. So clear that. We have Praetor of the Imperial Guard. Is that how you say that? Praetor? So in the event of BAM, deal 1 damage to each hero in this location. The hero that clears this threat may take their first face-up card in the storyline back into their hand. Very interesting. An heroic feat and 2 attack to clear that. And there's 2 of those. Okay. So that's the threats. Let's have a butcher's out of his deck. So I'm just going to have a quick sift through. Yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of normals and a special, as you would expect. So, yep. So, yeah, move, bam, put out tokens. So I've got a few of those. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we've got 2 of the Magister Clark. So no move, bam, and then bring 1 random cleared threat back into play in the clockwise location without a threat, if possible. 1 putting out thugs, 1 putting out civilians. So they are his cards and threats, respectively. But interestingly, you would also, at the same time, be playing with his hero deck. So again, you need to read that pamphlet in detail to get the rules for that, but that sounds quite intriguing. So let's have a look at his hero deck. So we've got, as you'd expect, move, attack, heroic feat, all the normal tokens. Loving the artwork. Great job. And then we get some of the special cards. So if we look, so we've got heat beams. Perform 1 attack in your location equal to the number of cards in your hand. Nice. So we've got 2 of those. We have got accelerated healing factor. As long as this card is face up at your storyline, if you have less than 3 cards in your hand at the end of your turn, at the end of a villain turn, you may draw a card. Okay. And finally, invulnerability. As long as this card is face up in your storyline, if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, ignore the first crisis token you receive during each hero or villain turn. Very good. And I did note that that final one is his starting hand. So he begins with this in hand. And again, we saw that similar hero mechanism introduced during Marvel United Season 2 with the X-Men. Okay, so before I progress, let's have a quick look at the miniatures for these baddies and their storylines. Okay, so Vulcan is here. Let's bring that down a bit more. There we go. Oops. There we go. That shows up quite well there. And the deal with Vulcan then. So his real name is Gabriel Summers. Gabe is the younger brother of Cyclops and Havoc. Okay. He chose the name of Vulcan from a book on Roman mythology and became part of a team of X-Men after learning of the devastation of the Skrull fleet and the takeover of Hala by Inhumans. Vulcan launched a surprise attack on the Kree, now ruled by Black Bolt. In an attempt to usurp Vulcan, Lilandra was assassinated, a civil war ignited between factions loyal to her and Vulcan. Vulcan flew off to engage the Inhumans, believing Black Bolt intended to destroy his empire, and they battled, with both apparently dying in the resulting explosion that tore a hole in the fabric of space and time. There we go. So that's the idea of storyline for Vulcan. And you can see how that theme of that character really does play into what we were just reading there and seeing with the threat cards, etc. So let's have a look at our purple character that comes with this box. So this is, of course, Gladiator. His real name is Kalark. Kalark was a cadet on his native planet Strontia. The new Imperial Guard of the Shi'ar Empire would include the finest warrior of each race of their empire as its representative after they slayed the Council of Elders. Whilst most of the cadets die young during the mission, Kalark defeated the council and was named Gladiator, Praetor of the Imperial Guard. Gladiator served succeeding rulers of the Shi'ar Empire, including Vulcan, and eventually, however, he disobeyed his orders to execute Lilander and rise up against Vulcan. There we go. So that is Gladiator. So you can play him as a hero or play him as a villain. Okay. So give you an idea of those. And yes, okay. So other heroes then include Triton. So let's have a look at Triton's. We'll have a look at Triton's character first of all. We're going to find him. Which one's Triton? Yeah, looks like a Triton to me. Yeah, he's water. There we go. Okay. So we've got, as you'd expect, that out of the way. There we go. So obviously the green screen, not liking the very bluey green water effect on the card. Does look very nice. So we get our usual tokens, as you would expect. And of course, then we have some special cards as well. So communion with water, attacking your location. Then if you are in a location with a water token, you may gain a wild token or do a wild action. So we've got, wow, 3 of those. So you see what I mean, an increase in the special cards. In addition to that, then we have amphibious elusiveness. If you're in a location with a water token, you cannot take any damage until the beginning of the next turn. We have Terrigenesis. As long as this card is face up in the storyline during the turn, you may reveal any Terrigen mist token in your location. If you do, discard it to immediately perform the corresponding action. Okay, and finally, Aquatic Physiology. Place a water token in 3 different locations if there are none in play. Otherwise, you may move 1 water token to any location without one. Okay. But there it is, folks, and that is one of the starting cards, putting out the water tokens or moving them, and then likewise Terrigenesis is the other starting cards. With Triton. So let's have a look at Triton's story. Okay, so Triton's name, go, is unrevealed. It's an odd name. No, we don't know his name. Triton is an Inhuman placed in the Terrigen Mists at a year old, giving it aquatic mutations like underwater breathing, aquatic vision, and superhuman agility. When the Kree Empire began ordering all surviving Inhumans to join or perish, Triton joined the Inhuman royal family at a secret meeting. Triton discovered a bomb that was left as a trap, and Lockjaw was able to teleport the royal family to safety before the bomb detonated, but not Triton, who was believed dead in the blast. Triton was alive and transported with other Inhumans to an unknown location by the Kree. There we go. That is Triton. Okay. So we'll dig into the additional cards. Boop. Boop. There we go. So, I love it again. And the Medusa and black. Oh, okay. So let's go with. Oh, these are all out of order. Okay, let's go with Medusa first of all, and we'll work backwards to Black Bolt, who we've seen on the silver screen. So, Medusa starting card. Pterogenesis, as long as this card is face up in your storyline during your turn, it may reveal any Pterogenesis token in your location. If you do, discard it to immediately perform the corresponding action. So, similar to what we saw with Triton a moment ago. We have a whole raft of, as you'd expect, your standard tokens. Then we have Bond with Black Bolt. You may consider any face-up Black Bolt card in storylines, previous card in the storyline for this turn, or Black Bolt draws cards until he has 3 in hand. Okay, interesting. Like that. We have Queen of Inhumans. Another hero of your choice may immediately perform a wild action, so any action at all. We have Trichokinesis. Defeat 2 thugs or rescue 2 civilians in your location. We have Fantastic Four Connection. Wild, or if the Fantastic Four card is in play, perform actions to the same type as all action tokens on the Fantastic Four card. And we have 2 of those. So the idea of Medusa working with Fantastic Four. Okay, interesting. So let's have a look at Medusa. Loving the hair. That is fantastic. Look at that. That's a great sculpt. So, real name is Medusalith Amaquelim. Medusa is the wife of Black Bolt and queen of the Inhumans, purposefully exposed to the mutagenic Terrigen mist as an infant. She has hair she can use as added appendages. Medusa was with the Inhumans when they went into space and allied with the Kree. When Ronan was wounded in battle with Vulcan's forces, Medusa vowed the Shi'ar would pay. Medusa told the Kree Empire citizens that they suffered an unprovoked assault by the force of the Shi'ar. The shield that once protected their star system had fallen, and she stated that Shi'ar blood would spill in the next fight while trying to keep the Kree in line. Okay, that's Medusa with her big hair. Okay, so if we flip over, let's do Karnak. So Karnak, his starting hand card. Lots of green. Foresight. As long as this card is face up at the storyline during your turn, if you are in the villain's location, you may look at the top 2 cards of the master plan deck and then put them back in the same order. Okay. We then have a number of normal tokens, you'd expect. And then special cards, we have Precognition. Double each heroic feat on the previous hero card in the storyline. So we have 2 of those. And then Martial Arts Specialist. Double each attack on the previous hero card in the storyline. We have 2 of those as well. Very good. I think we did see him in the Inhumans. I think he probably didn't wear that same costume. But I think he was there. That Precognition certainly was there was an Inhuman in the TV show that had precognition, so that would be my assumption, is that same character. So let's have a look at his figure, and we'll have a look at his backstory. Here we go. So Karnak Manda Azur. Karnak is the Magister of the Second Tower of Wisdom, a priest, philosopher, and adventurer. He fought with the Fantastic Four, defeated the Super Skrull, and joined the Attilan royal family, to rescue Black Bolt from the Skrull battleship Rehoboth, where he was being experimented on. When Inhumans left Earth to take over the weakened Kree Empire, Karnak used his abilities to uncover weaknesses in the planet Hala's shields, allowing Inhumans to invade and rule over Kree. Okay. So that's what he looks like there. Okay, let's have a look at Crystal. And again, I'm fairly sure we did see Crystal in the Inhumans TV show. So her starting hand card then, Pterogenesis. As long as this card is face up at storyline during your turn, you may reveal any Pterogenesis missed token. So as we've seen with the others, you get a theme. There's a real sense of theme here. We have, of course, our many standard token cards, as you've come to know and love and expect. We then have a Fantastic Four connection. Play a wild, or if the Fantastic Four card is in play, perform actions of the same type as all action tokens on the Fantastic Four card, as we've seen before. We have Aerokinesis. Relocate any number of civilians, thugs, heroes, and villains between your and adjacent locations. Okay. Apologies, I stuttered in my head because I was working out where I was going. Geokinesis. Okay, so place a seismic barrier token between your location and an adjacent one. A villain trying to move through the seismic barrier must stop in the preceding location and then remove the token. So a nice way to slow them down. And then we have Hydrokinesis. This is the water effect. Attack against up to 3 different targets, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. And then Pyrokinesis, the fire element, double attack against a single target and adjacent location. So that is what we have for Crystal. And through the form then, we have both the fire and the water elements of her. So Crystalia Amaquillin. Crystal is a member of the Inhumans. As an infant, she was subjected to the Terrigen Mist, endowing her with her powers, including the ability to mentally manipulate the 4 elements. Her wedding to Ronan the Accuser was interrupted by the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, who attacked as part of the Emperor Vulcan's invasion of the Kree Imperium. Ronan was severely beaten whilst visiting a recuperating Ronan, she inadvertently helped rally the Kree when she showed compassion towards injured Kree commoners. This led to her being referred to as the People Princess among some of the Kree people. There we go. Looks like a bit of a hand. So yes, there she is. Very pretty. Like the plastics. Okay. Yeah, nearly done. We are going on to... I've not done this guy yet. Where is he? Who is he? Gorgon. Ah, there he is. Yes, Gorgon. Okay, so starting hand for Gorgon. Pterogenesis. So yeah, you may reveal any Terrigen Mist token in your location. We have a number of token cards as expect. And we have okay. So we've got 3 special cards that are all the same. Terrigen Enhanced Strength, gain 1 attack or 2 attack. So gain 1 attack token or 2 attack against a single target in your location. And finally, Seismic Shocks, attack in both adjacent locations. Okay, so let's have a look at his figure. And he's maybe a bit kind of beast-manish, or the beast perhaps. So Gorgon Petragon, a member of the Inhuman royal family. Gorgon was subjected to the terrifying mist as an infant. Endowed with superhuman strength, Gorgon's modified legs can generate powerful shockwaves when he stomps his hoof-like feet. He also possesses the ability to manipulate energy. He can command the Atalan militia, the Inhumans military force. When the Inhumans decide to leave Earth to take over the weakened Kree Empire, Gorgon led the assault against Kree defences and led Kree against Shi'ar in the War of the Kings. There we go. So that is Gorgon. And we are on to, I'm going to do Black Bolt first. So, Terrigenesis, yep, reveal a Terrigen token. And we have lots of token cards. And we have a number of special cards. So, Bond with Medusa. You may consider any face-up Medusa card in the storyline as the previous card. All Medusa draws cards which has 3 in hand. So, nice healing opportunity. Supersonic Scream, which we saw tried to be performed in, of course, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. 3 attack against a single target in the opposite location. Wow. Matter and energy manipulation. Heroes in your location cannot take any damage until the beginning of the next turn, or perform an attack against each thug, henchman, and villain in your location. So we've got 2 of those. That's quite tasty. And then finally, we have leadership. Distribute any combination of 2 move, heroic feat, or attack tokens from the pool among the heroes. Very good. This is leadership coming into play. And here is his figure. Go. Good old Black Bolt, as we saw him in the movie. So, Black Agar Boltagon is his full name. Black Bolt. Possesses superhuman strength, speed, stamina, reflexes, telepathic immunity, particular manipulation, and flight. Particle manipulation, particular. He's the ruler of Atalan and a member of the Inhumans. Bolt's signature power is his voice. Speaking triggers a massive disturbance in the form of a highly destructive shockwave capable of leveling a city. Due to the extreme danger possessed by the power, Bolt has undergone rigorous mental training to prevent himself from uttering a sound, and speaks through sign language or via a spokesperson. Black Bolt embarks on an aggressive campaign against all former persecutors of the Inhumans in the War of Kings. There you go. Okay, so that is Black Bolt. And then we have probably my favourite of all in this box. Doesn't look like he has a starting card, and why would he? We have Lockjaw. Love it. Look at that, he's so cute. Gotta love a puppy. So we have lots of tokens, as you would expect. Oh, it's an angry puppy. Okay. So, tracking sense. Move to any location containing a hero, henchman, or villain and attack. Nice. We've got 2 of those. And then this is his main forte, and again, I think they portray this really well in the Inhumans TV show. Interdimensional teleport. Move to any location. You may bring any heroes in your location with you. So we have 2 of those, one with a right feet, one with an attack. They are his cards. Let's get his. Oh, big. He's a big chunky boy. Look at that. That's great. Oh, I love that. Lockjaw is an inhuman giant bulldog and can open passages between dimensions, has superhuman strength and in his jaw, precognition, matter ingestion and teleportation abilities. He serves the Inhuman royal family as their escort and protector. He has a special fondness for Crystal, which is sister and her daughter, Luna, and is highly protective of them. When Kree, Super Soldier, Philavel kidnapped Crystal, Lockjaw teleported Black Bolt and the Inhumans to nowhere to get her back. Well, there it is. Fantastic. And that is it, folks. That is everything you get in the box. Brilliant. Go. Of course, packs back away. Whoop. Locations. Oh, I think those boards should have been on top. There we go. Those, and that is it. So, finally, for me to say, as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to encourage me to keep making more content, please hit that subscribe. I'm enjoying doing this. I hope you're enjoying it as well. I'm getting a bit more information and background of the actual characters themselves. It's something I've picked up, didn't really seem to be getting covered elsewhere from my videos. So hopefully you're appreciating that and a bit of a closer look at the cards and the content that you get in the box, and an idea of how these things will operate. Otherwise, just to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again back at the table shortly. Bye bye.